And too, like, niggas is getting girls pregnant to keep a string on them. Naomi Osaka, bro. Right. Perfect example.
Women cannot have it all. They can't have it all because you can't. First of all, you don't have kids, right? So this is, some bullcrap line. Wait till you have kids. How are you? I want to know how you're going to have it all. If you're a full-time worker.
Have you fallen in love with a child before?
I have. I would rather die a virgin than harm a child.
When did you figure out that you were attracted to kids?
I was in 7th grade. A neighbor came to visit my grandfather with a 7-year-old daughter, and I looked up at her and I just was mesmerized by her beauty.
Me and my wife have had that conversation. If I had a daughter, I'm not changing diapers.
A lot of men say that having a daughter made them respect women without realizing that's because that's the first time they seen a vagina they couldn't objectify. You spend your whole life seeking pleasure from a body part while disregarding the full humanity of the person who carries that body part, to the point that our respect for women is proportionate to our attraction to them, because only through respect can we access that body part. As men, we can say we like women, but don't like their conversation, their interests, their thinking, their business acumen, and everything else that we ascribe to womanhood that isn't meant for our pleasure. That's because we're taught to view women not as people deserving of equal love, care, and opportunity, but as objects for our consumption and pleasure and satisfaction. If you don't unpack that before you have a daughter, then having a daughter is going to force you to do one of 3 things. You might reevaluate your views of women because you realize you want for your daughter the same things you want for yourself, and in order for that to be true, the whole world has to change for women. You might add your daughter to a list of exceptions. A woman you protect not out of solidarity or respect, but out of ownership and proximity. Or you might detach entirely and avoid the physical and emotional labor of care. You use discomfort as a shield, or the fact that your body and her body is just so different as a cover to continue your misogynistic frameworks. Because if your daughter's body is so much different from yours and you can't bathe her or change her diapers, then maybe you should learn. Ask your wife. Look it up. For a body part you've loved most of your life, you sure know very little about it because it's not in the context that you got taught to use it. But the truth is, your daughter is probably the first girl or woman you've ever had respect for and cared about without needing anything from them. And you should ask yourself why, and then learn how to do better. Because your daughter doesn't need to be your first lesson in her humanity. She deserves a world where you've already learned.
This is an interesting conversation to have. Before I give my 2 cents, let's see how people are reacting to this in the comment section. This lady says, can you imagine if a mother refused to change her son's diaper? Really think about that. This lady says, a father can't change their daughter's diaper. Red flag. Yo, this is deep. This is actually weird as F, and it's now one of my first date questions. Not you hypersexualized or so bad. You can't even change your diaper. Are you scared of being attracted to the baby girl's parts? I mean, what the F? How absolutely ridiculous. Collectively, men don't love women. They love the BJJ. I have a different take. I think they are afraid of intrusive thoughts. His views are concerning. My brother has a daughter. He changes diapers. He's a parent. I immediately broke up with a guy who I had already liked, who said this to me once. It creeped me out really bad. My daughter is 7 months old. He has not changed her diaper even once. I have never brought it up either. His disinterest told me everything I needed to know. So, when the daughter hits puberty, will he leave the house? Imagine when the daughter hits puberty. I think his statement might be rooted in hypersexualization of women, intrusive sexual thoughts, and lack of emotional boundaries towards women. Some men can't separate the idea of female from sex, no matter the age of that female. That mindset makes innocent caregiving activities like changing diaper feel wrong to them. It's not because it is wrong, obviously. It's because their mind is polluted with intrusive sexual associations tied to female anatomy. Men like him don't see girls, women as people. They see gender first before humanity. And such mindset reduces girls, including babies, to their genitals, not to their person. His statement could also be as a result of consuming too much porn. Many men consume so much sexual content that it distorts their perception of females, all females. Even in parental roles, that mindset isn't turned off. To them, the VJJ is always a symbol of sexual access to their mind. In their mind, it is never just a female anatomy. Statements like this are often cover-up for their own internal discomfort, rooted in disturbing thoughts. A healthy man sees a baby, not a vagina, and if that is hard for him to separate, the problem is inside him, not with the task.
Shit's getting weird. Part infinity.
Have you fallen in love with a child before?
I have. I would rather die a virgin than harm a child.
When did you figure out that you were attracted to kids?
I was in 7th grade. A neighbor came to visit my grandfather with a 7-year-old daughter, and I looked up at her and I just was mesmerized by her beauty. And that's kind of when I first started to realize, wait a minute, my attractions go way lower than what I thought they did. I went through a couple of years of denial and kind of back and forth on it, but eventually, probably about the age of 16, I basically started to accept it. People go, oh, you can't, you have a hard time controlling yourself. You're gonna, you're destined to offend. I don't think that's true for most MAP. MAP, minor attracted person. Non-offending MAPs exist. We are out there. I don't believe in conversion therapy. Best they can do is help us to cope and find ways to live with it without causing harm. Destigmatizing itself will help MAPs to come out of the shadows.
Stay in the fucking shadows. Stay your ass in the shadows because it's for your best interest. Listen, I'm a pretty open person, but I'll never be open with this. I will never call you a MAP. It's never gonna fucking happen. I know we don't agree on a lot as a society, but we can agree on this. We will never, ever, ever desensitize ourselves to this shit. It's never gonna happen. And as a new father, I was already heightened with this. As a new father, y'all better stay y'all asses in the fucking shadows.
He said the best they can do is to help them to cope and find ways to live with it. My question is, after you find that baby attractive, what happens afterwards? Do you just leave it at that? Or do you move on to sleeping with the baby? I just want to know. They already have a name, MAP. MAP. Have you heard of this before? He felt so comfortable talking about it like it's a normal thing. And he's expecting the people to accept it. Some people are crazy and they think every other person around them are equally crazy. This man should not be having this interview. Maybe he should be having it behind bars. He needs to be investigated because we need to know the number of children he found attractive in the past and what he did with that feeling, what he did afterwards. I just finished talking about a man that said he will never change his daughter's diapers. He said he had that conversation with his wife. And I spoke about possible reasons for that statement. Men don't just hold on to attractions alone. When they find a thing, be it an animal, attractive, it just doesn't end there. They move on to sexing that thing, that animal. Talk more of a human. That man needs to be investigated. And this should never be accepted in the society because it is weird, it's off, it's demonic. You cannot be sleeping with innocent babies. They can't consent to that. They don't have that autonomy to do that. You can't do that. It is sickening to even think about it, to imagine it. So in his head, he was actually advocating for the MAP people. Let's see how people are reacting to this in the comment section. But before I get right into the comment section, just know this. A lot of people you see on this planet, they have a big problem upstairs. Their brain don't function as normal as yours does, whatever normal is. So when you meet people, don't assume that because you're seeing black, everyone is seeing black. No. Some people might be seeing red. What you consider to be evil, to be demonic, to some people is norm. That's the way to go. So when you're dealing with people, it's very important for you to gauge their reasoning, their perception to life, and what bad and good means to them. Because bad and good are very relative. It might mean something else to person A and something else to person B. So please don't assume. What the F is MAP? I was also asking. I heard it the first time. Nah, Jesus needs to come back now. Trying to normalize it is an offense itself. He needs to hear this part. Maybe he thinks everyone is as crazy as he is, or everyone is as crazy as his colleagues are, his MAP colleagues. What am I hearing? You heard it. What you heard is right. I don't believe he hasn't offended. Me too. You can't be talking about feeling attracted to some kids. You already have some kids that you find attractive and you've not gone ahead to do something. He needs to be investigated. Maps are designed to be hung up on the wall. Why is it always them? I mean, they can't help it. What we want them to do. This person might be one of them. So this person is saying they can't help it. What then do we want them to do? We have to bundle them, put all of them in a room, build a community for them, maybe a prison, and lock them up there. They need to be taken away from the society. That's what we should do. I don't know if you read the write-up on the screen. It says she had no idea that he was going to divorce her 2 days after that video was made, and she was 5 months pregnant when he divorced her and made her a single mom. Let's talk about that. A woman being pregnant, that automatically puts her in a vulnerable state. And as a man or as a human that claims to love the next human or the woman that he's in a relationship with, where is humanity? Even if you were going to break up with her, at least be there for the baby. The baby isn't just hers alone. Your sperm fused with her egg to create that child. At least show support and respect. Divorcing a woman in a vulnerable state, do you know what that means? Being pregnant comes with a lot of emotional struggle. Then adding divorce to it, that's wickedness. And I tell you, when they divorce women, they run off to the next person immediately. They can't divorce and stay by themselves. Let's take some comments from that video clip. Give him full custody. To those who insist on getting married before having kids, the bitter truth is nothing can be guaranteed when it comes to Adam. Just pray for a decent one with clear conscience. Nothing is guaranteed in marriage. Nothing is guaranteed in relationship with men. My mom once told me, marry a man who wants to be a husband and a father, not a man who wants a wife and a child. I felt that. He probably sent the final email to his lawyer and stood up to dance with you. Possibly. Maybe he was dancing to celebrate what he did. What was his reason? And then she replied, he lost respect for me when he cheated and I stayed. He said I wasn't the same after and wanted to be free to explore other people. This is madness. Absolute madness. So he cheated. She forgave him and decided to stay. So he turned around and lost respect for her, now blaming her for not letting him going out there to explore. So he wants to be free. So she's been the one caging him, holding him captive. He's been in bondage. So he wants to be free. If unremorseful was a person, I say this all the time, the moment a man cheats on you, pack your bags and leave. For a man to cheat on you means he doesn't respect you, he doesn't regard you, and you choosing to stay back, it never gets better, it gets worse. So why don't you save yourself the headache and leave at that first instance? Just leave. There is more to life than staying put in a relationship that is filled with disrespect and disregard. This one says, my husband did the same thing after our second child was born. It was so hard, but now me and the babies are doing much better. Going through your page, let me tell you this. Hearing the way that man talks to you and seeing the things he puts you through, that man is fighting demons, maybe homosexuality. You need to stop pinning after a man that would quietly, literally knife you. Get your confidence up. You can do better. Get out as fast as you can and keep the baby to yourself. You need to get out immediately. This man doesn't even like himself, more or less you. And you need to learn to love yourself so you will stop thinking this is the best you can do. She replied saying, that's crazy how you read him like a book. It took me to leave to realize how much he hates himself because of the bad decisions he made. He took it out on me. He resents joining the military. He told me he wishes he never married me or got me pregnant, but yet told me to keep the baby. And yes, he was capable of that. He has 2 firearms in the house and everything. I'm just glad I left, but for some reason miss him at the same time.
As a Muslim divorce attorney, one of the things that's really crazy is how quickly guys get married after their divorce. I've had dudes ask me for like an expedited divorce decree so they can get married that afternoon. How'd you find somebody so quick, and are you ready? Allah knows, I guess. But in Illinois, from a legal perspective, in Illinois, that's cool. But in other states, they actually have waiting periods like 6 months or 6 weeks before you can get married. So very interesting. Might be some wisdom in that.
See what I'm saying? Fine.
Mm-hmm.
We kicking it heavy. It start getting to a point where it's like, it's getting a little serious, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And my partner like, yeah, bro. He was like, man, that was fine. Like, man, you might want to put a baby in her. I'm like, what?
What kind of advice is that, my nigga? Put a baby in that. Yeah, keep that around. Cause she fine. That's crazy.
And I ain't even gonna say Shorty was. Our disconnect is we just from two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she grew up a lot more privileged than me. I'm selling drugs at the time. I'm robbing niggas, all type of shit. We not living the same type of life, and we don't have the same mentality. Like, she in college, and respect though. I wasn't never like the type of niggas like, fuck school, woo woo woo. I understand we have a disconnect. We just gonna go part our separate ways. Cause I'm not finna change for you. And nothing you could do to change for me could be good for you.
Right.
Cause I have nothing to offer. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's an unfortunate thing too. Like, niggas is getting girls pregnant to keep a string on them. Naomi Osaka, bro. Right. Perfect example. I don't know these folks, right? I don't know what people's timelines is. I don't control relationships. I'm just saying specifically to make this example. You with a girl, she at the peak of her career. She could be the greatest tennis player of all time. You get her pregnant. Like, what are we doing, cuz? Because we do control that.
Right. No, we do.
You gotta nut in something.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got 3. I know how you gotta be in there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, balls to the wall. You gotta be balls to the wall. You gotta lay in there.
Balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall. But this is the thing, the pregnancy, niggas are doing shit. Niggas are getting girls pregnant to hinder them from realizing that, hey, maybe this ain't the nigga for me. And it's talked about, bruh, and it's like, niggas will sit here and talk to me about pandering. It's like, bruh, I know what you do, bruh.
What he said is true. That is male's logic. A lot of men think so. The moment they get with you, their fellow men will start advising them to put a baby in you. Get her pregnant, get her pregnant. The reason why they are saying that they should get you pregnant is not because they love you or they care. No, it's more because they want to put a leash on you, hold you down. And the moment you get pregnant for them and have their baby, they see you as their property for life. They own you for life. That is a mindset. Offset's exact words was, "You are my baby mama, I won." Most haunting words I've ever read. This is about Offset and Cardi B. And he tweeted about this, "You are my baby mama, I won." I remember watching a reality TV show on Netflix, and that was Diamond. He said that what's the point getting married, although he's married right now, I wish him the best. He said, what's the point getting married when you can get them pregnant? When you get them pregnant, you have access to them for life. And we have a lot of celebrities that have fallen into this trap. Naomi Osaka is one of them. Pregnancy announcements sound like funeral announcements nowadays. In as much as we talk about this, we should not neglect personal responsibility. It pisses me off when the woman allows the man derail her life. Like, girl, stand up. Not everyone knows about this. Let me tell you how an average girl thinks. We don't go around thinking a man is out to get us. Men are the ones that think that way. When we get into relationship, we come off as being naive. We are excited, we are happy. Some women are more than willing to go extra mile for that man, for that relationship to work. If a man wants to marry you, it's a thing of joy to so many women out there. They don't think evil, they don't see evil about it. A lot of women don't get into relationship playing games. They don't have this game mindset. Because we are humans, we see men as humans. Although most men don't see us as humans, we have this humanity mentality. Oh, this person is a human. We can build with this person. Or we can make life easier for this person. How do we make this relationship easier? We are not in there thinking about evil things, unlike men. So talking about it, creating awareness, makes women know what men are up to. Understanding how men think, how they reason, how they are wired, makes women know, oh, these men are not like us. Men and women are not the same. That is the bitter truth. Men and women are not the same. We are not conditioned the same. We are not being wired the same by the system, the patriarchy system. We're different. What a woman is looking for in a relationship is not the same thing as what most men are looking for in a relationship. Some men just want to have a wife and children. They don't want to be husbands, neither do they want to be fathers. So a lot of us women are very naive. And please don't forget that as a child, we've been conditioned to see ourselves as a wife to a man, a husband. We've been prepared, groomed on how to be a good wife to a husband. So it takes creating awareness, talking to women, letting them know what these men are up to for a lot of women to clock the game. Because we don't go around there planning evil. Because we're humans. We try to treat men the way we want them to treat us. We do things for men for reciprocity, but we often don't get same energy back in return.
Women cannot have it all. They can't have it all because you can't. First of all, you don't have kids, right? So this is, some bullcrap line. Wait till you have kids. How are you? I want to know how you're going to have it all. If you're a full-time worker and you have a child, how are you a full-time mom? Well, I'm going to hire help. Then you're not a full-time mom. You made a decision to prioritize one thing over the other, and you handed your kid to either a nanny or an au pair or daycare or something to do the jobs that you otherwise would be doing as a mom if you weren't climbing that career ladder and weren't prioritizing work over family, right?
All right, so we're not going to talk about her because we all know what she's doing here, right? Like, we all get what she's trying to do. But I do want to talk about this idea for a second. Because a couple of years ago, I said that I don't take advice from men, even the most successful men, because the advice never pertains to women. It just doesn't resonate with women because they don't have the same lived experience. And this is why no one would ever say to a man that you can't have it all. They wouldn't tell a man that you can't have that business you want to start. You can't be a high-powered career man and have kids. You can't do both and be good at both. That's impossible. We don't say that to men. If you took what she said and replaced woman with man, it would sound crazy. Men, you can't have it all. Not with kids. You can't be a full-time worker and be a full-time dad. It's not possible. You'd be handing your kids off to who? Who would have your kids? The nanny? The au pair? Daycare? The mom? You're not a full-time dad if you do that. You can't do both. You can't have it all, Dad. Right? See, we don't say that to dads. We never say that to dads, but we say it to moms all the time. And we say it so often that we're constantly asking them, how do you do it all? How do you balance it? What are you doing that makes this possible? And then when they tell you they have daycare or a nanny, we shame them for it. We don't do that to men. And this is exactly why I don't take advice from men. Because men don't have the same lived experience as women. They can move across the country to start a company and still be considered a good dad when their kids are on the other side of the country. Still be considered a good dad. And so until that changes, until men are held to the same exact standards as women are in relationships and parenting, I'm not going to take their advice. Also, just for good measure, we're not taking her advice either. Like, we all know what she's doing here. She's pandering, and we're not going to listen to her.
She's obviously a pick-me. But let's start off with this. Mothers are humans. Not because they gave birth means they stop being humans. They are humans. And there is no badge, no reward for who suffers most. No reward for the mom that did the most work. No. There's no reward for struggle love. Why would you decide to bear the burden when you can pay and get help? It's not about you staying and training your child. You don't make your life all about your children or your child. You can train your child, be there with them 24/7, do your best. And when that child grows, that child will derail from the training you gave to them. You're not God. You can't tell what tomorrow is going to give birth to. You can only try your best. Let me share the story. This just happened recently. A woman just passed. She had 3 children. She did everything she could, took loan to train her first daughter to become a lawyer. This daughter became a lawyer, became successful. The moment she became successful, she abandoned her mom. She's a single mom. She was once married. So she abandoned her mom and ran over to her father, became buddies with her father. Turned around to blame the mom for leaving the father. A grown lady, she works in the top law firm, turned around to blame the mother. The mother always calls her friend to cry for money. They pay this lady good money. The mother has been sick. This girl does not care. Even when the mother was admitted in the hospital, she couldn't take a day off from work to go see the mom. The friend has been there for the mom, sent the mom money, but she could not. The mom will call in, okay, let me come stay with you. No. She just didn't want to have anything to do with the mother. The mother even asked, let me come to the courthouse and see you present, do your thing, that will give me fulfillment. She said no. It's like she became ashamed of the mom. The mom took loans, did so many things for her, trained her in school. Now, she'd rather take her money and go pay tithes to her pastors rather than help her mom. Her mom could not feed. She finally died. The mom died from neglect. So what do you have to say about this? What would you say about this? And when I heard the story, I was heartbroken because I know this person. They've been talking to her, she wasn't listening. And I said, if the mom had used all the money she invested in her to train her and invested that money on herself, do you know the kind of person the mom would have become? Do you know how successful that mom would have become? You don't stop existing because you have children. Not all the children you train will turn around to be there for you tomorrow. And I'm not saying that you should train your child with the mindset of your child being your retirement plan. No, not all humans have humanity in them. So if you have the time, the opportunity, also do for yourself. Don't sacrifice your life for your children. Find a balance. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I even forgot to mention why the woman left the husband. The husband was a pastor, but he was sleeping around with the church members and got a church member pregnant. So the woman couldn't take it. She left the marriage with her 3 kids. Let me read some comments. Women belong at home with their children. This is coming from a woman, I suppose. At least when they are young, we don't need to have it all. We need to raise our children. This one replied, children need to be housed, clothed and fed. How do you expect single parents to achieve that while staying home? I think no one thinks of that as full-time parents, and that in itself is problematic. You are not supposed to have it all. That is in this world. You're not supposed to have all you want to have. What's the difference between a nanny and an au pair or au pair, whatever it's been called? This is a huge point that people miss. The innkeeper's wife is an innkeeper. The farmer's wife is a farmer. A man in the weaver's guide has his own family and a couple of teenage apprentices working in the weaving business. Men have never done all the work. They have claimed ownership over their family members and the work they all do. I get her point. If suffering gives fulfillment, if suffering makes you a human, a better human, or a better man, or a better wife, or a better mother, why are men getting apprentices at work? Why are men employing more hands at their workplace? Why are they not the ones shouldering everything? It applies both at home. There's nothing wrong in you getting a nanny, getting a help. Do you know that stress kills? Do you know that stress makes someone age faster than they are supposed to age? Do you know that? I rest my case. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.